Hello, I'm Sophia Lou and welcome to my channel.
Me. Hello guys and welcome to this week's video. This week I'll be doing another tarot card design to go with my Plant Witch and my Mushroom Hunters tarot card. And this time we'll be doing one for Lavender, which is the Poison Witch tarot card. If you haven't met Lavender before, I have done her in a previous video and she is part of the same universe as Mushroom Hunters and Plant Witch. She is Marie's rival, and a good rival, as always, has a good personality. Lavender's personality is very opposite from Marie. Marie is a very caring, loving individual, a little bit stubborn and set in her ways, and whereas Lavender is very aloof. She's very believes that she has to do better, she deserves to do better, she knows she must do better. It's part of her family's lineage. She has to be the best witch because her family's come from a long line of best witches, and her father and her mother always say that she must achieve greatness because her family achieved greatness, and sort of in a way that's why her personality is the way it is, and it sort of reflects in her magic. And instead of being the kind nurturing magic like Marie's is, her magic is very poisonous in a way. She's very good at extracting poisonous materials, very good at growing poisonous materials, but it doesn't grow in the same way that Marie's does. Marie can't grow poisonous plants. She's never had the knack for doing it, and she's never also had the knack for growing any fungi or any spore-like materials. It's just something that she's not very good at. So naturally Lavender excels at that, Marie doesn't. And I very much like their rivalry to be that they are opposites of each other, but in a way they are very similar in a lot of their aspects and what they want to achieve in life. They want to achieve something to be respectful and to show pride for their family and almost help their family in a way. I would like in the future for these characters to get on, but currently at this moment in time they do know. Their rivalry is strong. So how do they tie in with Mushroom Hunters? Well, the Mushroom Hunters, Freya, Kat and Gus, really get on with Lavender. They get on with Lavender because Lavender's natural ability to be able to grow mushrooms, they are inspired by that. They don't necessarily go to her if they're struggling for something because they kind of like the adventure of hunting for mushrooms themselves. But if it's a particular rare species, they go to Lavender for help in order to be able to locate and understand the extraction of the material if it's a difficult one. They also tie in with Marie because Marie grows mushrooms. Marie actually gets mushrooms off the Mushroom Hunters at the market, and they get on very fine and they are absolutely fine, and Marie has lots of conversations with them. They go to Marie for medicinal sort of potions and anything that can help them, considering Marie's magic is very nurturing in a way. She can grow a lot of potential things that they can take home with them, such as herbs and such as like spices or anything like that. If they need something, they go to either of these witches. They know about their rivalry, but they don't necessarily care. They like them both individually for different reasons. So that is the characters all together in the same universe. Well, firstly, before I go into more of Lavender, I'm just going to explain about the equipment that I'm using here. I'm using Canson mixed media paper. This is my first time actually using my paper. It came to be highly recommended, and if you guys would like to see video reviews in the future of mixed media paper, let me know in the comment section down below and see if that's something that you guys are interested in. I like to try out different materials to see whether or not it's for me. I think it's something that's very important to try and find the perfect medium for you. I'm using my Unipin fine liners. I tend to use different like line whips. I'm using 0.1 to 0.8, and I like to use these to show the thin and the thickness in my lines, to show something far away and to show something close up. I'm also using my Winsor & Newton Pro markers, which were rebranded from the Letraset Pro markers. There's no difference between these. It's literally just been rebranded. It was rebranded about a year or two ago. I can't remember the exact time it got rebranded. I'm also using my Polychromos pencils to build up texture, as well as a little bit of Winsor & Newton watercolour. I also use for highlights my Pentel white gel pen and my Liquitex white paint as well. As always, the equipment is listed down below, so if you are interested in checking them out, feel free to check out the description box down below. So let's start talking about Lavender. Lavender's personality, as I touched on before, is a very poisonous, sort of closed off personality. It doesn't necessarily make her an evil person. She's not an evil character per se. It's just her mindset is very poisonous, and it's sort of set in from her upbringing. She's always been told that she deserves better, that she is the best, and she has to achieve greatness to carry on the family name. And that makes her very different from Marie. Marie's sort of upbringing is very relaxed. Her parents own a potion shop in a very small village outside, whereas Lavender's been brought up in high society, and because her family is a long lineage of very powerful witches and wizards who have all achieved greatness, it's something that she's very much pushed on, and I feel like that reflects on her personality as she's gotten older. It doesn't necessarily make her an evil person, just sometimes she says stuff that isn't very nice. She can be a not very nice person, and I would like to see her character grow as her stories grow, and as her development grows we get to know her more as a character and come to love her in her own way. Originally she was going to have a dog with her, because I had this whole idea of this pun of a collie dog mixed in with cauliflower, and I was like, hey, it could be a collie dog, because Prickles is a pun. He's a cactus. It's funny to have that pun, and I like puns. But it just didn't suit Lavender's personality. I went through a whole lineup of designing different dogs and thinking, okay, if it's not this sort of collie dog, maybe I try a dog that looks a lot more fancier, and it just didn't work. So I ended up actually designing her a magpie bird. I went through a number of different birds before I decided on this one. Because I'm very much into magpie lore and how much they tie in with very old stories of how they tie in with witches and wizards, and I thought this was a nice throwback to that, as well as I wanted her bird to have some sort of plant to it, so the wings are actually made with flower petals instead of feathers. Yes, aviation laws, it probably won't be able to fly, but hey, it's a magical world, it's fine. And his name is Magnus. Like Lavender, he's very snooty in his own way, but he's always there when Lavender needs him. He helps gather berries for her in particular, and really helps sort of that gathering material sort of aspect, and he is really, really wonderful in his own way. He's like most magpies, he does have a little bit of a cruel side. He does like to bully Prickles a lot. Just as Marie and Lavender don't get along, Prickles and Magnus don't get along, and I think that's fun to reflect their familiars, that they are very familiar in a way to their personality of their owners. Not necessarily the same, but they have the same sort of gripes. I can imagine Magnus is just always pecking at Prickles, while Prickles is just for God's sake, leave me alone, I will swipe you. I just like this sort of juxtapositions of different characters and different sort of wavelengths that they all have. As for costume wise, Lavender's costume is very prim and perfect. Her skirt is almost like a closed off flower petal to reflect her personality, that she is clean and perfect in every way. Unlike Marie likes to get down and isn't afraid to get her clothes dirty, Lavender would never get her clothes dirty. She has to be prim and perfect in every single way, because that is the way that she's been brought up to believe. And I think that as her story develops, I'd really love to do more pictures of Lavender, and I would love to introduce more characters in this universe as I develop it and as their stories grow. So let me know if you guys want to see more stuff like this in the future, and more introductions of characters, because I still need to introduce the Potions Master to you guys, as well as another plant witch / wizard who actually does have the collie dog. That would be interesting to show you. So here's a few final looks over all the piece, and these three together as the tarot card designs, I am so happy with these. I think it's a really nice direction to show the characters and their personalities, and have something that really reflects the characters all together. I think her character design is very different from the other two, and I really love her colour scheme. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know if you'd love to see more content like this, And as always, folks, stay creative.